How does Washington's specific word choices create a tone? In this lesson, you will learn to identify tone by analyzing word choices. Let's review. Let's remember that Booker T. Washington wrote this autobiography or story of his life as a person who was born as a slave and then freed with the conclusion of the Civil War. Chapter 1 is all about where he was born, what his early childhood was like, some of his general opinions of slavery and the people involved in it, and the experience of being declared a free man. Let's also remember that tone is the author's attitude towards the subject matter or what they're writing about. And then again that the author creates tone through word choices and other literary devices. Step 1. Reread your selection and notice powerful word choices that the author uses. Step 2. Brainstorm what types of feelings those word choices bring up. Step 3. Ask yourself, what does the author feel towards his subject? So I've picked out this passage in which Washington is reflecting on his father, and now I'm looking for word choices that seem particularly powerful. I'm zooming in especially on this last sentence, but I do not find a special fault with him being Washington's father. He was simply another unfortunate victim of the institution which the nation unhappily had engrafted upon it at that time. So these words, especial fault, unfortunate victim, unhappily, and engrafted, all stand out to me as particularly powerful word choices. So now I take these words that Washington uses, especial fault, unfortunate victim, unhappily, and engrafted, and before I even get to them, I need to remember Washington is writing this paragraph about his father, whom he never knew. You would expect this to be a very emotional topic, maybe even rage-filled, but instead Washington uses these words, especial fault, unfortunate victim, unhappily, and engrafted. Now, as I look at these words, I'm struck by how dignified and polite they are, especially because he's talking about his father, who never gave 2 cents about him. These words seem sad to me too, but in a very polite way, nothing extreme. So now I'll jot down my brainstorm about what types of feelings I associate with these word choices. And I'm thinking polite and moderate sadness, which really is surprising for the content. So from those notes now, what does Washington feel about slavery? Well, the feelings that I jotted down previously are polite and moderate sadness. So from there, I can try to answer this question. Washington's tone, his feeling about the topic, Washington's tone is dignified sadness. So how does Washington's specific word choices create tone? In order to answer that question, I'll merely go back and look at the words and the brainstorming I've already done and sum it up in a paragraph. Booker T. Washington uses sophisticated word choices to create a tone of dignified sadness. The sophisticated level of his diction, as seen in words such as especial fault and engrafted, elevates his emotion to the level of dignified citizen of the time period. Words such as unhappily and unfortunate victim clearly convey his sadness and regret with regards to slavery. So, I reread my selection, noticing powerful word choices that the author uses. I brainstormed what types of feelings those word choices brought up, and then I asked myself, what does the author feel towards his subject? In this lesson, you have learned to identify tone by analyzing word choices.